I can also offer another mm, thought of mine, right? Understanding like all this background and um, having spent a lot of time with these letters. It takes a long time to translate them to do it justice, to do it correctly. Um, the thing that should be, I think, pretty obvious is one that if the West actually responds with just conventional weapons militarily to stop the war crimes and the genocide that's happening inside Ukraine, just within the borders of Ukraine. That is the most efficient, fastest, best path to maximizing the possibility of a palace coup against Putin inside Russia. So, I mean, Putin might get deposed without that happening, but that will obviously result in just a ton more civilian deaths in Ukraine, a lot, and just total destruction, annihilation of the country. But beyond that, it just that is the push that the West, I think, needs to make, because once there's a significant portion of the Russian military that just destroyed inside Ukraine, that support to overthrow Putin is just gonna grow inside Russia exponentially. But there's also a problem of timing, right? This window is not going to be open forever. Once Putin actually completely consolidates all control and squashes all potential dissent around him in the Kremlin, in the FSB, surrounds himself with people that are just in a cult of Putin that will do anything that he wants them to do, and will do everything to protect him. We're gonna be in a situation like North Korea, right? So that's already beginning to happen. We do still have that window of opportunity, but it's not going to be there forever. So that's why there's a sense of urgency from multiple perspectives, not just saving human lives, which of course is just morally it's the best thing to do. It's something that is tactically it's going to be crucial. That is the way to facilitate an actual overthrow of Putin. So once Putin is removed from power, which I mean, I'm rather hopeful that everybody's going to do everything to make that happen. Obviously, the invasion of Ukraine is going to stop. The genocide is going to stop. The extermination of just cities and civilians is going to end. Then we're going to have to start working on the next steps. There's going to be a lot of uncertainties, right, of what will happen after Putin is removed. But regardless of what happens after that, we first have to accomplish that, right? And we have to be agile. So in terms of sanctions by the West, I think that's been just a really well executed strategy by the United States and our partners in Europe. It is placed the exact kind of pressure domestically in Russia to bring that possibility of a popular overthrow of Putin to try to make that, turn that into reality. The question there is sanctions. It may take a while for that to have that result, if it does. And we shouldn't be just banking on one certain strategy that would result in Putin being overthrown. We should just pile on from every single conceivable approach. So destroying the Russian military inside Ukraine, that is not an attack on Russia. With conventional weapons, there's not going to be any nuclear response to that. That is just like Putin is invading. He invaded Ukraine. He wanted Belarus to invade Ukraine with him, although it seems like that's petered out. Belarus top ranked commanders in the Belarus military have refused, which is fantastic. The railroad employees in Belarus at the border of Ukraine have sabotaged those rails so that Russian military equipment and supplies can't reach Ukraine. So that's really great development. But if we just sit idly by and just wait for sanctions to continue to squeeze on Russia as a country, that on its own may not lead to an overthrow of Putin. We need to do more, and it requires military action. This is already a war that Putin started. It's a war that Putin started against the world, and he's not going to back down. Going back to the fact that he is convinced the West is not going to respond militarily. So what the West should be doing, from sort of a global perspective, is do the opposite of what Putin expects us to do. That approach, I think, is very important, because this is war. All right, so I think I'm going to wrap this up. I really appreciate everybody tuning in. It seems like essentially everybody that started in terms of the number of listeners is still here. I really appreciate your support. I really appreciate your curiosity and hunger to understand the situation with the FSB letters and who Vladimir Sechkin is and what's going on. Again, right, I haven't... I'm very careful. Like everything I've provided in this audio cast it's public information and combined with some of my theories. There are no secrets in this. Really, thank you. It's been tough. I've barely slept the last 4 weeks, but your support has allowed me to keep going and knowing that this is making a difference. And I am just doing everything I possibly can to try to contribute in whatever small way I can to bring an end to this war. And we need to start actually thinking more critically, thinking more strategically of what we can do to stop this terror. And I think the world will be better for it. The entire free world has unified so much. I can't remember in my lifetime this level of unity. And we shouldn't squander that. We should act with conviction. We should act with courage. We should do what's right. Doing what's right will always pay dividends. So thank you again for listening, and I am going to go take a break. Really appreciate it.